Imagine everything you see today, the skyscrapers, the technology, the safety we live in becoming nothing but buried ruins tomorrow. The ancients weren't primitive ruins. They were at their peak when the end arrived. They didn't leave us myths to entertain us. They left us maps of our own destruction carved in stone. Today, we reveal 3 endings that shook the foundations of the world, leaving everyone who hears them with one haunting question. What actually happened to them? Starting from the far north, where the Viking Fimbulwinter lies in wait for the collapse of human morality, to the blood-stained overs of the Aztecs, where the earth swallows everything under the tremors of the 5th sun, and finally, to the mystical east and the prophecy of Kali Yuga, which warns of an age where the soul dies long before the body. But in reality, the terrifying question isn't what happened to them, it's whether we might suffer the same fate. Will we become nothing more than future ruins waiting for someone else to discover us? Ragnarok, when brotherhood dies. The beginning wasn't just a blizzard. It was a fracture in the cosmic order. The ancient Old Norse manuscripts, specifically the poem Völuspá, state that the end is preceded by 3 years of Fimbulwinter, a winter without mercy, where winds howl from all directions, and the sun vanishes behind a veil of black icy dust. Today, historians link this myth to a real event in 536 AD, when a volcanic winter darkened the skies for years, causing global famines. But the Vikings saw something deeper. They believed nature reflects the decay of our souls. The sagas speak precisely of the Wolf Age, where social structures collapse entirely. No oaths, no loyalty. The ancient texts literally describe it: brothers will kill brothers, and kinship will be defiled. Hunger turns humans into soulless beings, and this is the spark that unleashes the true monsters. As the earth drowns in chaos, the nightmare Odin tried to prevent for centuries finally manifests. The wolves Skull and Hati, who have hunted the sun and moon since time began, finally catch their prey. Total darkness falls, and the bonds holding the universe together unravel. The mountain imprisoning Fenrir crumbles, and the magical chains of Gleipnir snap like thin threads. Imagine the scale. This isn't just a Volf escaping. It is the embodiment of ruin, while the seas flood as the world serpent Jormungandr rises. The horn of Heimdall will echo across the realms, announcing that the gods of Asgard are preparing for their final journey to the battlefield of Viking. The earth burns, the ice creeps, and stars fall from the great ash tree, but this destruction in the north was only the beginning of other endings, being written in the blood of distant civilizations. The 5 suns, the debt of blood, across the ocean, while the Vikings awaited their frozen end. The Aztecs of Mesoamerica saw the sky as a hungry beast. To them, the world wasn't a gift. It was a debt paid in blood. According to the ancient codices, we live in the era of the 5th sun, known as Nahuyalan. 4 worlds before us were utterly crushed, the first devoured by jaguars, the second scattered by cosmic winds, the third rained upon by volcanic fire, and the 4th drowned in a global flood. But the true horror lies in our era. The Aztecs didn't sacrifice thousands atop their pyramids out of mere cruelty. They were desperately trying to postpone the apocalypse. They believed the sun lacked the energy to move, and without human life force, the universe would stall and collapse. The prophecy carved into the 24-ton sun stone states that the debt is finally coming due, are, and won't come from the sky, but from beneath our feet. When the sun stops moving, the earth will enter a final labor called the Great Earthquake. Ancient texts describe it with terrifying precision: mountains crumbling into dust, and cities sinking into the ground as if swallowed alive. As the earth shatters, the final eclipse will occur, unleashing the true nightmares that sits in them. Skeletal star demons descending from the darkened void. The Aztecs didn't see them as ghosts, but as physical predators hungry for human flesh, hunting anyone who survived the quakes. Imagine the horror, the ground shaking violently, the sun vanishing, and the stars themselves descending to devour you. Can you feel that faint vibration beneath you? To the Aztecs, the earth is a living cage, and it is finally getting tired. But while the Aztecs feared a physical cataclysm, the ancient East warned of a different kind of destruction, one that begins from within. Kali Yuga, the death of the soul. Finally, we travel to the ancient East, to the sacred lands of India, where time is not a line, but a cosmic wheel that crushes everything in its path. According to the Vedas, written thousands of years ago, we are currently living at the very bottom. In the Kali Yuga, this isn't just an era. It is the age of vice and the autumn of the human spirit. The East doesn't warn us of volcanoes or floods at first, but of something far worse. Internal decay. The Vishnu Purana describes chilling details of our current reality. It prophesies that truth will become a rare commodity and that wealth alone will be the only measure of nobility. In this age, leaders will become crown thieves, feasting while their people starve, and religions will turn into empty rituals bought and sold. Does this sound familiar? The prophecy goes further. It says people will decrease in stature and lifespan, and family bonds will dissolve until parents fear their own children. When this corruption reaches its absolute peak, and when humanity forgets the last spark of light within, the universe will no longer turn with mercy. This is when Kalki, the final avatar and the ultimate avenger, descends. Kalki does not come as a teacher or a merciful savior. He emerges from the void atop a majestic white horse, wielding a sword that blazes like the light of 1,000 suns. His mission is not to fix, but to purify. He will erase those who have lost their humanity and become a burden on existence. He will wash the earth with fire and blood until nothing remains but ash, so that the Satya Yuga, the age of truth, can be born again. Imagine that moment, the sky splitting open, time standing still, and a merciless blade cutting through the web of corruption we've woven. The Aztecs feared the shaking of the earth, and the Vikings feared the freezing of the sky. But ancient India warned that we are the ones who will summon our end with our own hands. The Vikings, the Aztecs, and the sages of the East, thousands of miles apart, yet they all saw the same shadow creeping toward us. They left us these myths as mirrors. So look closely. Do you see the reflection of our cities in their ancient fires? If the sun's light faded forever tonight, what would you hold on to? Our technology, or the soul we have forgotten? Tell me in the comments, which of these three civilizations was the greatest in your eyes? And which ending did you find most shocking? Join us on the channel to uncover the world's untold secrets. And always remember, the end is never just the end. It is the beginning of something we chose to forget. The unknown never sleeps. Subscribe for more hidden truths.